Hey, what's up, my friends? It's Brian Meert, CEO of AdvertiseMint. We go live every Tuesday and every Friday to answer your questions and tell you the latest about what's happening with Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, Snapchat advertising. So we've got some great updates today. We had some amazing questions that came in that we're going to answer. So I want to just be able to get started and go from there. So the first update that I have, hold on, before I do that, if you're watching this, leave comments. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below. I'll try to answer them if we have time based on what we're doing. Also, if you like what you're hearing or there's something that was cool and you're like, man, I didn't know that, throw some little emojis or some reactions at the bottom. I always love seeing those floating across the screen. I need to get my own that I can just make float with like little sticks in case no one else is doing it. I'm like, hey, there's some good ones on that. But yeah, that's kind of it. But I have a couple good updates today that I wanted to share with you in regards to Facebook advertising. The first one is that Facebook just launched a program that they call Watch. And basically what this is so Facebook has a serious problem in a lot of their investor meetings, or as they're disclosing their statements, they've talked about this for a while, which is they're running out of ad inventory, or they're struggling to be able to show enough ads. So what happens is they have over 5 million advertisers that are putting ads on Facebook, and they've got 2 billion users, which you would think sounds enough, but they're actually running out of inventory with all of this, and they're finding that they are limited in the amount of space that they can be able to display ads. So what they've been doing to resolve this is trying to create at a rapid pace new places that they can be able to show ads. And one of the biggest ones that they've yet to kind of tackle, they've gone head to head with Snapchat, they've gone head to head with Craigslist, and now the biggest one, or I think one of the biggest categories that they're going after now, is TV and Netflix and Hulu. They're going after the video, kind of the video channel. And so what this is a new place where it's a tab that you can be able to see at the bottom of Facebook. It's shaped like a little TV. And basically what they're doing is trying to create a new area where people can be able to consume video content, and this creates more ad space for them. Some of the other things that it does is it's preserving the user loyalty. So, people are able to come and watch content on Facebook if they're already there. If there's more things for them to do, that's extremely valuable for Facebook in being able to help generate more options for ad revenue. And then finally, increase daily active users. That's one of Facebook's big goals that they're trying to do consistently to be able to meet the demand for all the advertisers that are trying to advertise on the platform. So what happens is, if you want to use it, it'll start appearing. I'm not sure if it's launched for everyone yet, but it's a little TV-shaped icon, and it appears at the bottom of the Facebook app. This will, Facebook's going to start showing original video content here. And this is where, Apple's kind of done this with some of their new shows. They're going head to head now with things like Netflix and Hulu, and Amazon and HBO, some of these people that are really pushing heavily to get their content online, as well as, I think some of the fallout is going to come from some of the major networks, NBC, CBS, ABC. They've traditionally kind of held the keys to the kingdom in terms of how people watch content, which is through TVs. And now Facebook, which has a grip of money, is able to go out and start to hire some of those, key executives to start to create their own original programming, their own shows that are exclusive to Facebook. So, this is very exciting to see where it's going to come. One of the things that it means for advertisers is that they'll be able to allow in-stream video ads over this content. So, whatever they're creating, they're able to show ads that advertisers are putting up. They've said that right now it'll be between 15 to 90 seconds of ads that will appear in the middle of this content. Very similar to maybe Hulu. I know it has a lot of ads that show up. My thoughts on why Facebook is going to win in terms of video is a couple of things. So, a TV show or whether watching on a mobile phone. But here's why Facebook really stands out above traditional media or traditional television is that one, there's a conversation. So, when you're watching it on your TV, you're just, watching it. Maybe you can talk to the people next to you, but that's kind of it. On Facebook, when they have a show that's played or a movie, people are able to engage and talk directly about what's happening in it, as well as like with live. People can comment in real time and share the reaction. So it's much more a social experience than traditional TV. Number two, it's relevant. So what happens is, when you turn on a TV, you're skimming through channels looking for what's gonna, be interesting to you. Facebook has so much data on you that imagine you go to it and it's immediately got shows in front of you that are most relevant to you or that would play directly to you. So, they've already kind of got that system worked down. So I think, again, as they're doing videos, as they start to create a massive amount of content, this will be something that is, shows will be relevant to you. And then finally is convenience. And this is something that, you don't have to wait for a person or a set show time. Like this show comes on at 7:30 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. That's kind of traditional TV where you're locked into these hours and times. Facebook has the ability for you to watch it whenever you want. And I think anyone that uses Netflix or HBO realizes that that's exactly what they want. They want to watch the content that they want whenever, however they want, in the order that they want, without necessarily some time frame kind of structuring on when they can view the content. So anyway, it's an exciting thing. If you're checking out Watch and, tell me your thoughts. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know how it's working. Another update that we have is Facebook launched a new feature which now allows you to optimize your ads for landing page views. And this is actually really exciting because it solves a key problem that Facebook's had for a while with objective campaigns with an objective for clicks. So by default, what Facebook's going to try to do is serve your ad to people that are likely to click on it. And there's different types of audience. And a lot of times, clicky audiences aren't necessarily the ones that end up purchasing. There are people that are just window shopping, looking around. Very active users. And so a lot of times, what happens is, when you optimize for clicks, Facebook's going to look for more people like that. So what happens is it's kind of like a snowball where you're getting these people who are just maybe clicking very quickly. And when you look at the, your analytics, you may see a very short page time on site. So what happens is Facebook created this new ability to optimize not just for clicks, but for landing page views. And what this does is this is now looking on the back end for the people who are spending the most amount of time on the site. Maybe reading your landing page, looking through the details. So instead of optimizing it for everyone, they're optimizing it for the people that most likely care about the content that is on that landing page, which thus means as it goes out and looks for more people to display the ad to, or determine who to show it out of the targeting that you selected, this now means that you're going to get an improvement in your results if you're doing a lot of landing page optimization. So a couple things, you need two things to be able to implement this. One is you can only run it under the traffic objective. So you must select a campaign objective for traffic. Two, you must have the Facebook pixel implemented and firing correctly. Once that's done, you'll be able to go to optimization for ad delivery under the ad set, and you're going to look for the link clicks drop down where it says optimize for link clicks, and after that you can select landing page views. So once you have that kind of in place, you'll be able to start to optimize your creative or your ads for people who are most likely going to be staying on your landing page. So anyway, it's really exciting. I think this is a great kind of a great option. A lot of people that do have landing pages or long types of information that they're trying to get people to read and look at versus just quick people clicking over and then bouncing out. So again, it's a great solution by Facebook. Let's see, we had a couple questions come in, so I want to see if I can address these really quick. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And so let's start off with this. We had one from Rob. This came through over this last week, and his question was, I run a website for earn money from home type of a campaign. and I have a lot of affiliates that are creating ads, sending people to this website. Things were going good for me, and then all of a sudden, my ad account was blocked, and every other person advertising to my site was also blocked. So their account got flagged, they couldn't run ads anymore, and he was like, help, what do I do in this scenario? So there's a couple things that I would say. The first one is that Facebook has their ad policy, and I think that they're very, they've got clear wording about, get rich quick type schemes or any sort of multi-level marketing where you're trying to get other people to sign up to make more money. Facebook wants to have a good user experience. So if people are on there and they're getting tricked or duped into these, you have to pay X amount of money, but you can get more money down the road, or Ponzi schemes or things like that. Facebook that harms people's trust of Facebook. So they're taking a firm stance to say we don't want any of those on there. I think this one was an educational course, and I don't know much about it, but for some reason Facebook triggered it out. So the other things that I would say is, when it comes to affiliates, a lot of times I would definitely, you're going to have to keep the affiliates on a tight rein, which means you're going to have pre-approved wording for the ads that they can be able to run. My guess is what happens is with most affiliates, when you get a lot of people in a room, everyone's getting the same results. One guy's going to want to get a little bit better results, and he may change the word and be like, hey, make money right now. You can make millions from home. And the minute those type of words pop up, Facebook is triggered, or they're searching for those type of keywords, and it triggers the ad. And this is where the next part happens, is not only do they trigger the ad, but a lot of times all accounts are linked. So Facebook is now looking for multiple connections to the ads and how they are related. So this means things like credit cards. So if you're using your credit cards on two accounts, they're linked. If you're using the same URL, right? If this URL gets blocked as, hey, this is a spammy site, any other accounts that are sending traffic to that URL could also get blocked. And then also the Facebook user ID. So, if you have your user ID and you're creating two different ad accounts, maybe two different credit cards, they're still linked through you. So, basically what this comes down to is Facebook's really clamping down on their policies, and really they've got enough advertisers on the site paying them money that they don't necessarily need to try to deal with, or even work with, or take the time to talk to people that are breaking their rules or their policies. So they immediately just shut them down and kind of move on. You have a couple options in this case. You can either request a review from facebook.com/business/resources. A lot of times you may just get a response that says, no, you violated a policy. There's nothing we can do. If that's the case, you can always reply back and be like, no, here's why I think it's not, and make your case. Again, they have the final say if you're going to be able to make it or not. So, it really comes down to, your business and what you're trying to do. And it may be something that you just aren't able to, advertise that on Facebook because of their policy changes. So, my 2 cents on this one is it's just like SEO. In terms of people are always trying to find a little workaround, a little way to get their site ranked a little higher. But ultimately, Google's going to win in the long game. They've got heaps of teams and engineers working on this problem to make sure that the best sites are ranked first. That's their business, and they're making billions of dollars off of doing it right. So, when it comes to that, same sort of thing with Facebook. Keep things clean. Don't try to have iffy ads. Don't try to have things that are misleading or tricking people. Don't try to find workarounds for their policies, because if they do, it's really becoming harder and harder to be able to set up ad accounts. And this is where they're now linked to your profile, they're linked to your credit cards, and you're kind of running out of options on how to be able to do it. It just takes a lot of work to try to get back around. Another option that a lot of times you do have is, if you work with an agency like us, a lot of times we have connections with Facebook. We can go back in and make a case for you if there is an option to be able to say, hey, look, here's what they're doing. It's not necessarily 100% wrong. It's maybe in a gray area. Is this possible? What would we need to change? And we can actually have a conversation and get bullet points in terms of here's what it would need to happen for this account to get turned back on. So there are options for you, but those are kind of the rundown of them. And then last, we had a question from Liz. This came in, so Liz, if you're watching, this one's for you. I am trying to run a different ad each day for a 4-week campaign, so basically 28 days. And she says, do I need to create 28 different ad sets, like one for each ad, so that the ads don't all run in random rotation? Or is there a better approach to use? So this comes down to, what she's trying to do is to have an ad set up to run every day for 28 days, and a different ad based on what she's wanting to do. So there's 2 ways that you can do this, Liz. The first one would be the automatic mode or vacation mode, if you wanted to set it all up and then head out for vacation and know that everything would run properly. If you want to do this, you have to set up 28 different ad sets with exact start and stop dates for each one. Once you have that in place, you would then put your ad inside of that ad set, and you'd be able to, it would run on day 1, then day 1 would stop, day 2 would begin, day 2 would stop, day 3 would begin, day 3 would stop. And you would just need to set that up. That approach, if it takes a little bit longer to set up, I think ad sets take a little more time, but you could theoretically go to a beach in Bora Bora, hang out, come back in 28 days, and your campaign would have run in the order that you wanted to. If you're around the office and you have more time on your hands, there is a manual approach of what you can do. This would be where you would create one ad set with the targeting that you want. You would set it to run for 28 days. And what happens is every day you would just set an alarm on your computer to go in. You would take the first ad, leave it on. When the day ended, you would turn ad 1 off. You would turn day 2 on. You would then go back the next day, turn day 2 off, turn day 3 on. And that is how you would be able to run ads over a period of time. So anyway, I hope that helped you. Yeah, if there's any more questions, let me take a look here. See if there's anything that came through. Yeah, if you guys have questions more, leave them in the comments or just check it out or shoot us an email. But thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day.